Hello friends, a very warm welcome to my channel. In this video, we are going to talk about another stock in the water conservation theme. So there are discussions globally that water is going to be very scarce for the next decade or so, and this theme is going to be the theme of the decade. So this company, which is EMS Limited, is totally focused on this particular theme. They are into setting up of network of water lines. They are into EPC work related to sewage and water treatment plants. So this company totally fits into this particular theme, and we are going to talk about all the important points related to this company in this crisp video. So if you're new to the channel, please do subscribe and hit the bell icon to get updates of all the new videos that I make. And if you're not a part of our Telegram channel, do consider joining today by clicking the link in the description button so that you join the right Telegram channel. Every day morning before the market opens, I share the strategies as to how to approach the market in that particular day and week. This will definitely help you increase the returns of your portfolio. So let's talk about EMS Limited in this video. We'll start with discussing the business model of the company in brief. We'll look at the chart. We'll talk about the stock performance in the last year or so because it's a newly listed company. We look at the main financial parameters as to how the company has performed and delivered the results in the last 5 years. We'll talk about why the stock has given an up move, what led to the increase in the stock price. We'll talk about the management's outlook going forward in FY25 and beyond that. We'll look at the present valuation of the company in stock. We'll talk about the risks of investing in this company and then form an overall view as to what you should be doing in this stock. So EMS Limited is a EPC company. So what is an EPC company? Suppose the government or somebody in the private sector comes up with a requirement to set up a water treatment plant or for laying up a network of water lines. This company takes up that project, procures the required materials for the construction of that projects, does that construction and hands over the project. If the customer or the government wants this company to maintain it, they also do the operation and maintenance part. So they are both into freshwater related works as well as the wastewater treatment, which could be for the municipal waste as well as for the industrial companies where they want to or they are compelled by the law to become a zero discharge business. So they are into the complete water team, which is related to the collection of water, treatment of water, supply of water. They have their in-house civil construction team, and based on the requirements of the projects, they also hire different consultants and contract laborers for the same. So most of the projects which this company works on are mainly the government related projects, and majority of the projects are generally funded by the central or state government or various international bodies also sometimes like the World Bank and other. When you talk about the list of services which this company has to offer, they work on the sewage solutions, water supply systems from one place to another, then fresh water as well as wastewater treatment units. During this project, if there is any electrical transmission or installation required, they take care of that. They take care of the entire civil work, and sometimes they also take up some civil construction projects like the roadways. But the main focus of the company is to take up the water related projects. And other than providing these services, they take care of the operation and maintenance part post the completion of the project. When you look at the stock performance in the last year or so, the company came up with an IPO price of somewhere around 211 rupees, and the IPO opened slightly up at somewhere around 250 zone. From then onwards, we saw a steady rise in the price and the stock made a high of somewhere around 600. During this journey of 600, there was some profit booking at the range of 500, and the stock built a base at somewhere around 400. Post that, we again saw a profit booking, and the stock took support in the range of the 400 zone again. Thereafter, due to the good performance in the last couple of quarters, we again see a steady rise in the price from the range of 400, and right now it trades at somewhere around 490 or 500 range. So in Q4 also the company delivered good numbers. So what you observe from this chart is 400 is kind of a base which this stock is forming over the last few months, and if the company continues to deliver good numbers, this base of 400 is hard to break in technical terms. When you look at the revenue in the last 5 years, the company delivered a revenue of about 326 crores in FY20, which steadily went up to almost 793 crores in FY24. EBITDA also saw a steady rise from about 96 crores to 200 crores in FY24, which is a very good number. On the margins front, we saw a small decrease. Earlier, the company was doing an EBITDA margins of somewhere around 30%, which is very good in this particular industry. But we saw a slight softening in this margins from 31%, it went down to 28% in FY23, and in FY24 it went down to almost 26%. We have to closely monitor whether these margins are maintained and they bounce back to the earlier levels of 30% or the downtrend continues. The company follows a asset-light model wherein they generally rent the equipments which they need for the projects, and that's why the return ratios are high and the ROC is at about 30%. In terms of collection of the amounts are not received very quickly, and that's why the data days are as high as about 112 days. And this is something which I will closely monitor in this company, that there shouldn't be any risk of bad debts. Now, why did the stock price rise from the IPO price of about 200 to more than 2x right now? We saw consistent growth in revenue and profits in the company, which led to the rise in the stock price. And this particular sector is where the Indian government is focusing on, and the government has plans to spend about 70,000 crores in the next 1 year in this particular sector. So there are chances that the companies like EMS will receive much larger projects than before. What is the growth outlook of the management in this particular year or the year going forward? The management expects about 35 to 40% growth in the top line in FY25, and presently they have an order book of more than 1800 crores, which shows a clear visibility that this goal can be achieved. Along with the present order book, the company is also bidding on some new projects worth about 4,000 crores, but the strike rate of the company is about 10-15% when they bid on any new project. The management believes that there is no shortage of work in this particular industry, as the network of water lines in India is still at a very nascent stage, and there are huge investments coming in by the government. In terms of margins, the company is confident of maintaining their margins in the range of about 25 to 30% going forward also. Now, when you look at the valuations of this particular stock, as a multiple of earnings of FY24, it currently trades at about 18 times. So this particular sector is generally given multiples in this range only, and we should not get very attracted that the valuations are very cheap at these levels. In terms of price to book ratio, it's also somewhere around 3.4x, which is not very expensive. But the company has clear visibility of growth for the next year or so, and that can lead to the rise in stock price as the results keep coming in the upcoming quarters. And technically, as we discussed, there is a strong base at somewhere around 400 range. So as long as the results are supportive, this range should not break for this particular stock. Now, what is the risk of investing in this company? The company gets about 50% of the revenue from UP. So if there is a change in the government policies in this region, that could impact the business of this company. This business could be lumpy. In a particular year, they can get a lot of orders, and the other year, if the orders are less, then there could be a drop in revenue. That is the nature of this industry. They have high dependency on the government because most of the projects they take up is from the government side, and the declining trend in revenue has to be closely monitored. Along with that, we also have to monitor whether the receivable days are reducing going forward, and in spite of completing the projects, they are receiving the money or not. Generally, in this particular industry, there is no unique selling proposition, and this industry is highly competitive. There are a lot of players bidding on the tenders, and they try to outbid their competitors and try to get the projects even at lower margins. So now that we have understood the business model of the company, the valuations, the growth outlook of the company, the risks of investing in this company, what is our view? If you're already invested in the stock, you should continue to hold, as the numbers are as per the expectations, or in fact, they are exceeding the expectations of the investors, and the company is maintaining and achieving the guidance which they are giving. And if you're somebody who's looking at a fresh entry in this stock, as the valuations are not that expensive, you can gradually consider accumulating at the base of somewhere around 400, which will give you some margin of safety if the company fails to perform in the next year. But do remember that if at all you choose to invest in this company, you have to closely monitor the margins of the company, the projects in the pipeline, as well as the receivables. So that's about EMS Limited. I hope you liked the crisp video. I tried to highlight all the important points in this video in just about 8 to 10 minutes. If you like it, hit the like button and share with your friends. If you want me to make videos on your favorite stocks, don't forget to mention the name of the stock in the comment section. Do join our Telegram channel. Thank you for watching and have a wonderful day.